friends, good morning. This is Katie Carney from Katie Carney Stitching, and this is my Flosstube number 102 or 3. Don't ask me. Clearly, I don't know. Anyway, I'm coming at you from my new office and at my standing desk. It's mechanical and it goes up and down. And last weekend on Saturday, I put it together. And let me tell you that it took me over 4 hours to do, 4.5 hours. I cried a little bit out of frustration at one point, but we got it together and I love it. Today, so my floss is in my office. It's there, and then there's my anchor, and there's my DMC. So this morning, I start the new job tomorrow, so this morning I was like, well, I have to put everything away, which for some reason was the box of stuff that I have finished a project with, and I put it in the box before I put it away. That was really bothering me. So I did that this morning, and now it's just about getting everything together. I'm going to be in Harrisburg Monday and Tuesday, so I have to drive there tomorrow. And I have my clothes set out and everything. I know what I'm wearing. I'm very nervous. So I guess that's probably why the floss had to be put away. I was trying to do things to make myself feel like I was in control, which I am certainly not. All right, so it's been a couple weeks since I saw you. The last time you saw me, I was getting ready for a trip to Ohio to see my family. And I went. I did the first 4.5 or 5 hours of the drive after work on Thursday, and then I finished the drive on Friday, and I met up with my friend Kat, who watches these. So hi, Kat. She drove down from Indiana to have lunch with me, which is very sweet of her. And then I went to see my aunt, and I gave her the cross-stitch piece. I think she liked it. It was a very difficult visit. Very, very sad, but wonderful. I love my family so much. They're so wonderful. When I'm with them, I feel very much like I can be myself. And I stayed with my cousin Sarah, and we laughed, and I cried, and we just caught up and talked. And all I could think of was, oh, maybe I should move to Ohio. Maybe that's where I'm meant to be. And I think that every time I go, I just have such magical visits. So I have a feeling I'll be going out again before too long, but I will always be happy, always, always, always happy to spend time with them. I did the entire drive home Monday. I left my cousin's around 4:30. I stopped and got gas for $3.16. It's $3.85 here. I got gas for $3.16, and then I started driving. I stopped for about 2 hours later to go to the 2.5 to go to the bathroom and get another cup of coffee, and then I just kept on going. I meant to stop and fill up in Ohio, and I just zoomed right past the last exit and into Pennsylvania. So then about 45 minutes into Pennsylvania, I stopped and got another coffee. I had a lot of coffee, which I'm not supposed to have that much of. And I got a snack, and I was back on the road, and I got gas. I was back on the road in like 15 minutes. Those are the only 2 times I stopped. And then I just kept going. Steph from California called me, so I was able to chat with her, which was a blessing. But then I got like within an hour of home, and there was an accident, and then there was construction, and that last part of the trip, and I was starving, was so long. And I could have stopped to eat, but I had to bring food home for my grandmother. So I didn't want to stop and then have to stop again. So I just kept going, and I had to go to the bathroom really bad. It was not great. But I made it home, and then I just kind of sat in my bed. I didn't sleep. But I had a little bit of, I think, vertigo, to be honest, from going up and down the mountains. Everything was a little tipsy, but that was okay. And then I went back to work the next day on Tuesday, and I had my last week at work, which was sad. I don't know how else to put it. I'm not leaving the congregation because I didn't love it there, because I did. I do. I was there several times last week. So it was very, very sad, and I definitely cried, and people were very, very kind to me, which was wonderful. And then I had a week off, which was, I thought about it, other than for medical things like my open heart and my gallbladder many years ago, I don't know if I've ever taken a full week off. When my mom passed away and we drove out to Ohio, I took 4 work days off, and on what would have been the 5th day, I went back to work. So I enjoyed last week. I got some stitching done. I got the office set up, which I'm hoping to do a little tour. It's a room. It's not a tour, would be a stretch. But I'm hoping to do a tour at the end of this video if anybody's interested, because it's my cross-stitch storage and now my office. The only thing that's missing is a bookcase that a friend of mine is painting. So that's not in here yet, but my plants are here and everything else. And a lot of the week was spent cleaning and organizing. My life had kind of been in a shambles between right after Easter. I had the commissioning and I started bringing stuff home from work, and then I painted the office, and then I went to Ohio, and then I kept bringing stuff home from work. It was amazing how much stuff I had in that office. So I took the week to really get that under control, clean, organize, dust, put things away, clean out closets. It was great. I love having a week off. Highly recommend. So anyway, now 7 minutes in, you've had a little bit of a life update, and I will start showing you my stitching. The first thing is April. This is from the Heart Needle Arts, and this is my April monthly Quaker. I'm doing all of these. I hated this one. I hated it. I hated working on it. I didn't want to work on it, and then when I ended up making a huge mistake. Wasn't ripping it out, and I just didn't like it. But it's done. So you saw what it's supposed to look like. Here is what mine looks like. I use the DMC conversion, and there's supposed to be something here, but this is supposed to be over further. That's what happened. I was supposed to do this off of this flower, and I did it off of this instead, or something like that. I messed it up, but I did all of this perfectly, and I was not ripping that out. I just wasn't. And to be completely honest with you, I think if I would have ripped that out, I just wouldn't have done April. April would have never existed. So I did it. It is not perfect. It doesn't have every single motif in it, and I just don't care. So it's done. I think I didn't like the colors. Because I have not had any trouble working on any of the other ones, and I started May yesterday, and I'm not having any trouble with it. But April, did not want to do it, but I did it. I will fully finish this when I fully finish May. April has come and gone, obviously, so it's the 12th of May. So it's not going to work for this year. But I did finally, I have a place for them in my new office, so that's good. Okay, now whips. Well, I will show you while I'm here. May. I really like the colors for May. So this is May. It's 2 greens and like a burgundy. And I started it last night. Let me show you the colors. I have to sneeze. Hold, please. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. So the colors are DMC 320. 3726 and 520. So they're the 3 of them are together. And then I started this yesterday, and that's what I have done so far. I really like it. I like the colors a lot. I like the shades of green. I really like the shade of like pinky red. So I am enjoying this one. I might take this with me to Harrisburg tomorrow. I have not decided. This requires my tablet, so I might not take it because I don't know if I want to bring the tablet with me. Because I don't want to leave the tablet in my hot car, but I don't want to carry it into my new work either. So, something to think about. Okay, next I worked on Prairie Schooler. Hang on. All right. I worked on the Prairie Schooler Angels. So I am copying Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, and I am stitching these all together, and then I added words to the bottom, and I finished the words this time. You can see right there the original start. I'm doing this on a, oh, I'm sorry, my Quaker is on 18 count Aida that I got at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and the DMC conversion. This is on a 32 count black linen from 123, and usually on 32 I like 2 strands, but on black apparently I like 1. So I already had this done, and then I worked on the letters. So this is from Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, and she designed the bottom part, the Gloria in Excelsis Deo, and it's over 1 with 1 strand of 729, and I'm very proud. You can see my face through that. That's weird. So here it is again without my face. So it's 729, 1 strand, 1 over 1. The letters, considering they were over 1, they moved pretty fast. And if you don't like look at them like this, they don't look bad. Are they perfect? Of course not, but they're okay. So I do need to do the last box, but I'm not stressed about that. I wanted to get the letters. My goal was to get the letters done this week, and I did that. I am using the called for DMC, and I'm not in any great rush to get this done because although I love it, I love all my projects, so no rush. But I am pretty proud of those over 1 letters. Not gonna lie. Excuse the zipper. I didn't know why people were so, why people apologize for zippers, and apparently people watch Flosstube with their headphones on, and I guess that's what married people have to do so they can watch Flosstube, but I'm single, so I don't have to do that. Anyway, then I picked up Kringles by Little House Needleworks. This pattern came out in Market of 2020 and then promptly sat in my stash because although I loved it, I just didn't get around to working on it. So the last time you saw this was obviously my whip parade, and I had finished this top part. And over the last several days, I put in quite a bit of brick and mortar, and I started the first room. So let me show you what I worked on. So that's the brick and mortar, and then I started, like I said, that first room there. I really enjoyed doing the brick. This is the page break. It's funny though, this is on 30 count Parisian gray 2 over 2 with the called for colors. And I have been doing a lot of either 18 count Aida or 1 over 1 on 14 count even weave. And let me tell you, I had a lot of trouble going to the much bigger 30 count. I couldn't count. I messed up in several places. That brick, I stopped in the correct spot, but there's some over 3 or over 1 stitches, which is fine because it's bricks. Nobody knows but me. But anyway, I love this piece, but I am putting it away for now. I wanted to do the whole first room and finish that brick, but I decided that I wanted a new start. So that's what I'm going to do today. So like I said, that's Kringles by Little House Needleworks. I've been working on it forever, but at least I worked on it this year, and I got quite a few stitches. I don't know how many because it's not in Pattern Keeper. Next up is my Harry Potter sampler, which I showed you all last time and promptly forgot to print out a print out a picture of, so let me find a picture. Hang on. Okay, so this is the Harry Potter sampler, and it's by Creolandia. I don't know what her actual name is. I picked this up because the 911 stitcher, Stacy, was starting the Mary Poppins one. So I am doing this on 1/1 on a 14 count light gray even weave with a beautiful blue like navy even weave, or DMC that I have in a cone that I don't remember the color of. And I don't have the cone here, but this is what I have so far. So this is the piece with the, this is this corner piece. And you can see, like, I'm not doing this border or the one right in from there. I'm just doing the 4 squares. I'm not gonna close them in together. It would take forever. This actually took forever. It's not hard, the over one. I actually really like it on here. I think it looks really petite, but very pretty. But that's only like 2,500 stitches and it took me forever. So anyway, this is in my bag made by, that I'm testing for Steph from Will Stitch for Coffee. I love her bags. This is her envelope bag. And this is a invisible closure. I love it. And I can't wait to get more because actually I need more bags. So there's my names that she stitched on there. Beautiful. And I love it. It's a Harry Potter bag, so it's all very fitting. All right. I think that's it. That's all my whips. Although that's more whips than, it's funny, I should have filmed last week. Last week was my 2 weeks, and I had only worked on April, which was not done yet, and the Harry Potter sampler, and I was like, that's really nothing to show people, so maybe we'll work on something else. So that's what I did. So now let's talk about some plans. Can't find my calendar. First off, here is I kind of lost track of my stitchy calendar in April, but I picked it back up. And you can see where all I worked on was April. And then all of a sudden last week I got back into stitching again. I don't want to say back in, that's the wrong word. I got my mojo back. I had time. Because yesterday I started the May Quaker. I worked on Kringles and I worked on the Harry Potter sampler. So go me. So today, I think because of the new job, on Friday I was like, I want a new start. And I was talking to Jen and Michelle, made by Michelle McGraw. And I was like, I don't know what I want to start. And Michelle goes, why don't you just go through your stash? And then I remembered that I had gotten some stuff at Market, and one of them is this Faith in Stitches by Teresa Kogut, and it's called Sacred. And it's a Sacred Heart of Jesus. And I had really wanted to start it, so I am going to use a 25 count, and I'm just going to do it over one with one thread. And I am using, she technically called for 2 fancy flosses, Chickpea and Honeysuckle by Weeks, and I didn't have either of them. So I am using the DMC conversion, but believe it or not, I didn't have 3 of the DMCs. So, or 2 of them, excuse me, I found the 3rd. I'm just going to use the anchor for those, and then this is the DMC. So it's a very like neutral, beautiful color palette, and I'm gonna start that. I'm hoping to get to 11 o'clock mass. Don't know if I'm gonna. And then I will start this when I get back. So while I was in Ohio, lest you all think that I didn't get to a cross stitch store, there is a store out there. Hang on one second. There is a store called Busy Beaver Arts and Crafts, and I went there the last time I went to Ohio, and I bought a bunch of Lavender and Lace, and Toldana Gardens. But I had not started the official collection. So I knew the next time I went to Ohio, I wanted to go back and see what else they had and get them. So they had 3 that I did not have, and I was just paying retail for them. So this is World Peace Angel by Lavender and Lace. This is the Angel Sampler, also by Lavender and Lace. It's funny, it was $8. They come up on eBay for much, much more. And then this is Baby in a Basket by Told in a Garden. And then I bought a half yard of a 25 count. This is not what I'm using for Sacred Stitches because it's a big piece. Michelle McGraw has been talking about 25 count, and I have been wanting to try it. So I grabbed 2 pieces of it at Hobby Lobby, but then I found it at that store and I just bought a big piece. That store has everything. They have yarn, they have cross stitch, but it's very vintage. So if you're into vintage, that's the place to go and just like dig around and see what you find. We have tons of dimension kits, Janlin kits, lots and lots of kits, much more than they have patterns. I only had about a half hour, not even, maybe 20 minutes. And I initially could not, I remembered where those patterns were and that they were in their own little box. And there was this woman who was working there in the room and she's like, I'm just going through everything and kind of putting things away. And I was like, no. And then under a chair, I found the Lavender and Lace box. And I was like, this is what I'm here for. And I found the ones I wanted. And then she took the box and she's like, well, I'm going to put these on a shelf somewhere. And I was like, don't do that. They're all in this wonderful box. So people like me can just come in and buy the ones they don't have. But whatever. Anyway, I also got, not at this store, but I got the 2024 Prairie Schooler Santa. I got a pack of tapestry needles from Singer. I really like the 28s in this. And my dad's girlfriend got me this lovely stamped sunflower kit. It just showed up at my house with no name. I didn't know who it was from. So luckily, my dad was like, oh, that's from Laura. She didn't sign it. But anyway, at some point, maybe I'll start that. I've never done a stamped kit, so that'll be interesting. My plans for this week are to work on that new Sacred Stitches and May. I'm going to take Sacred Stitches with me, and then I'm either going to take May or I will take the Prayer of St. Francis with me. Because depending on how the first day of work goes is going to depend on what I want to work on. Anyway, it's Mother's Day today. I know that, first off, happy Mother's Day to all the moms who watch. You guys do the hardest job there is, and I am very lucky to get to watch you all be mothers, so good job. I know that it's also a very difficult holiday for people for a variety of reasons, myself included. So be nice to yourself today. I'm going to get Fra cheeseburger and fries, and we're going to have a good day. I'm going to pause you, and I'll show you what the office kind of looks like quickly, okay? Have a wonderful day, and if you want to stay for the tour, it'll be about 30 seconds. Anyway, talk to you soon. Bye. All right, I'm going to try not to be too shaky. This is my antique sewing machine right here. And I've just got some cross stitch patterns on it. So the machine's in there. And then up from there, one of my old coworkers made me this beautiful sign. And then they also, this is the address of where I used to work. And they put, memories made together last a lifetime. These are my beautiful gray walls. Sorry, I'm shaking. I'm trying not to. So that's just a bookcase there. And, well, can't see. My plants are there. And then, the real reason we're all here, my giant, beautiful desk. So it's up pretty high right now. To make it go down, you just hit that button and down she goes. Most important thing, my air conditioner. And then there is down here my frame with my monthly calendar and a couple plants. And then this is all of my cross stitch paraphernalia and my fabric. So that's it. That's the new space. So now I have to figure out how to stop this. So wish me luck. All right. Have a great day, everyone.